Buongiorno, ciao, and welcome to Learn Italian with Francesca. This is episode 5 of Grammarous. Today you're going to be learning about Italian nouns, as well as the definite article, which in English corresponds to the word the. There are 7 the's in Italian, but don't panic. There are nice clear rules that allow us to understand when to use which one, so don't worry. In Italian, all nouns, all names of things, are either masculine or feminine. Most often, you can tell whether the word is masculine or feminine by the end of the word. This is very similar to people's names. For example, Carlo and Carla, 2 names. Carlo ends in O, Carla ends in A. Which is feminine, which is masculine. Carlo ending in an O is masculine, and Carla ending in an A is feminine. Another example is my name, for example. Francesca. It ends in an A, so it's the feminine version. The masculine version of my name is Francesco, ending in an O. Just like that, the same thing happens with names of things. Let's look at the word for book, libro. Do you think it's masculine or feminine? Libro. Correct, it's masculine. It ends in an O. How about casa? Casa ends in an A, so it's feminine. Of course, there are exceptions to these rules. However, the majority of nouns follow this rule. There is another category of nouns that end in E in the singular. They are either going to be masculine or feminine. There are some rules which we can use to decipher whether an E ending singular word is masculine or feminine. I-O-N-E, I-C-E, A with an accent. Ione, ice, a. Words ending in these endings, ione, ice, a, are often feminine. Words ending in ore, ema, e, are often masculine. The rules and words we've looked at so far have been in the singular. So what happens in the plural? Let's have a look. Masculine O ending words in the plural will change to I ending. Feminine A ending words in the plural will end in E. And singular E ending words, which are either masculine or feminine, will end in I in the plural. So O turns into I, A turns into E, and E turns into I. Let's look at these examples. Libro, masculine singular word, libro. In the plural, we change the O into E. The O turns into I. So from libro, it becomes libri. So from casa, singular, it becomes case, plural. Fiore. It's a masculine singular noun. Fiore. In the plural, the final E will turn into an I. So the plural word for fiore is fiori. Another example, stazione, singular, feminine. In the plural, it will change to stazioni. When using specific nouns, which in the singular distinguish their gender, like studente, studentessa, or psicologo, psicologa, or ragazzo, ragazza, and we want to refer to a plural group of them, referring to both males and females, then in the plural, the masculine plural is used. For example, if talking about male and female students, you say studenti. If talking about guys and girls, you say ragazzi. Now let's talk about the definite article. In English, the definite article is the word the. As I mentioned earlier, there are 7 the's in the Italian language, but they follow nice, clean, clear rules. So let's go through the 7 Italian the's. Il is used before nouns that are masculine, singular, and that begin with most consonants. That is, the exceptions are nouns that begin with Z, S plus consonant, also known as impure S or S blends, PS, X, Y, GN, or PN. Let's look at some examples of where il is used. Il libro, the book. Il treno, the train. Il sole, the sun. Il biglietto, the ticket. La is used before nouns that are feminine, singular, and that begin with all consonants. Let's look at some examples of where la is used. La casa, the house. La studentessa, the female student. La zuppa, the soup. L apostrophe is used before nouns that are either masculine or feminine, singular, and that begin with a vowel. Examples where L apostrophe is used are l'Italia, Italy. L'amico, the male friend. L'amica, the female friend. L'anno, the year. Notice that when we pronounce these words with the L apostrophe in front of them, we read them as if they were one word. Lo is used before nouns that are masculine, singular, and that begin with Z, S plus another consonant, the S blends or impure S, PS, X, Y, GN, or PN. Remember, X and Y are foreign letters, so there are very few words that begin with these letters. And there aren't a lot of words that begin with PN, GN, or PS. So the majority of times you will need to use lo for nouns that are masculine, singular, and begin with Z or S followed by another consonant. Examples of these are lo zoo, the zoo. Lo zaino, the backpack. Lo studente, the male student. Lo psicologo, the psychologist. Lo xylofono, the xylophone. Lo yogurt, the yogurt. Lo gnomo, the gnome. Lo pneumatico, the tire. E is used before nouns that are masculine, plural, and that begin with most consonants. That is, except the Z and S impure category. For example, I libri, the books. I treni, the trains. I soli, the suns. I biglietti, the tickets. Le is used before nouns that are feminine, plural, and that begin with all letters, consonants and vowels. So basically, le is used for all plural feminine nouns. For example, le case, the houses. Le studentesse, the female students. Le zuppe, the soups. Remember that even if a noun is feminine, if it ends in an E in the singular, it will still change its ending to an I in the plural. However, the will be la or L apostrophe in the singular and le in the plural. For example, la lezione becomes le lezioni. The la changes to le and the singular ending of the word e changes to an I in the plural. Another example, l'ape becomes le api. The bee, the bees. The feminine L apostrophe changes to le and the singular end of the word e changes to an I in the plural. Gli is used before nouns that are masculine, plural, and that begin with Z, S followed by another consonant, PS, X, Y, GN, or PN. Examples of these are gli anni, the years, gli amici, the male friends, or the male and female friends, gli zoo, the zoos. Notice the ending of the word zoo did not change in the plural. I'll explain why in a moment. Gli zaini, the backpacks. Gli studenti, the students, male or mixed gender. Gli psicologi, the psychologists, male or mixed gender. Gli xylofoni, the xylophones. Gli yogurt, the yogurts. Again, notice the ending of the Italian word yogurt did not change in the plural. We'll see why in a moment. Gli gnomi, the gnomes. Gli pneumatici, the tires. When does the ending of a noun not change when in the plural? Well, when a noun ends in an accent, it remains invariable, meaning we do not change the ending. It stays the same for singular and plural. For example, il caffè, the coffee. In the plural, it becomes i caffè, the coffees. Another example is la città, the city, which in the plural is le città, the cities. Another time the noun is invariable is when it is a foreign word and often ends in a consonant. For example, il bar, the cafe. In the plural, it becomes i bar, the cafes. Or lo sport, the sport. In the plural, it is gli sport, the sports. Lo yogurt, gli yogurt. In these cases, this is where the will indicate whether it is singular or plural. Sometimes a noun is abbreviated. For example, auto is the abbreviation of automobile, which means car. It is a feminine, singular, e-ending noun. When we abbreviate it to auto, the gender does not change. So even though auto ends in an O, that is not really its true ending. And it's for this reason that we cannot change the ending of an abbreviated version of a word, as we can't change the middle of a word. So for example, auto remains feminine. So in the singular, the abbreviated version is l'auto. And in the plural, it is le auto. We change the from singular to plural, but the abbreviated word does not change. Lo zoo is an abbreviation of giardino zoologico. So we have lo zoo, the zoo, an abbreviated version. In the plural, it becomes gli zoo, the zoos. Another common example is la foto. It is an abbreviation of Fotografia. Fotografia ends in an A. It's feminine. When we abbreviate it, it becomes la foto, the photo. In the plural, le foto, the photos. Once you learn the rules of when to use which one, you can focus on this table, for example, where it shows the singular definite article and their equivalent in the plural. So il turns into I in the plural. The singular la turns into le. L apostrophe feminine turns into le. L apostrophe masculine turns into gli, and lo turns into gli. So in the plural, all feminine plural nouns will use the le, and masculine plural nouns will use the, which is either I or gli. Let's look at some of these examples. Il libro, lo stadio, l'amico. So with il libro, it ended in O, so it's masculine, it's singular, and it begins with an L, a normal consonant, let's say. So we use il. Lo stadio ends in an O, so it's masculine and singular. However, it begins with ST, and so it belongs to that special category and therefore requires the lo. L'amico ends in an O, it's masculine and singular, but the word begins with a vowel, so we need the L apostrophe. L'amico. La casa, l'amica. Casa ends in A, so it's feminine and singular, begins with a C, so we use la. L'amica ends in an A, feminine, singular, but begins with a vowel, and that's why we need the L apostrophe. Il fiore, la stazione, lo studente. Fiore ends in E. Particularly, it ends in ORE. And most of the time, ORE words are masculine. Begins with an F, a normal consonant, so we use il. Stazione, IONE ending. Most of the time, they're feminine. Hence, la stazione. Lo studente ends in an E, is singular, begins with ST, and that's why we have lo studente. Let's look at the plural versions of these examples. I libri, gli stadi, gli amici. In the singular, all those examples ended in O, so we changed the O to an I in the plural. Then the verbs changed accordingly. Il became I, and lo and L apostrophe became gli. Le case, le amiche. So the singular versions of these words ended in A, and so we turned them into an E for the plural. The verbs changed from la to le and L apostrophe to le. All feminine plural verbs will be le. I fiori, gli studenti, le stazioni. With these three examples, all the singular words ended in E, they were E-ending singular nouns. So that E turned into an I in the plural. Then we looked at the the. The il changed to I fiori. The la turns into le stazioni. And the lo turned into gli studenti. Let's look at some more examples of the category of nouns where it's not so easy to work out whether they're masculine or feminine. EMA ending words are often masculine. For example, il problema. E with an accent ending words are usually masculine. For example, il caffè. ORE ending nouns are often masculine. For example, l'attore or il pittore. IONE ending nouns are usually feminine. For example, la conversazione. Nouns ending with an A with an accent are usually feminine too. La città, l'università. And ICE ending nouns are usually feminine. For example, l'attrice or la pittrice. It's not always easy to distinguish whether an E ending noun in the singular will be masculine or feminine. However, if in the context, whether it's written or oral, if you know that the is either an il or a la or whatever it may be, you will know the gender of that noun because the never lies. That's a rule you can go by. The never lies. Thanks so much for joining me for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it and that was useful information for you. If you did, please click like and subscribe. If you'd also like to receive notifications of new videos, click the bell too. Grazie mille and see you next time. Ciao ciao ciao!